Seems like you're stepping into the situation or moving forward in this situation, but also just in other areas of your life in this way that is like not affirming anything that is not direct and not clear. And it doesn't necessarily just mean like in communications with people, right? It just means the path that you're choosing to move forward with is one where mentally there is clarity because you are choosing to only move forward in a way where you are providing clarity. And so it doesn't really matter the uncertainty that anybody else has because we're not following their lead in that way. So a few things here about this situation. One, yes, there is a person here. They're showing up as this King of Wands, King of Pentacles, which is the same energy that I was reading on yesterday. But two, you're showing up as, what's interesting is somebody who is very unsure, who is very unclear about what to do moving forward. And I think that it's interesting because it's still showing up, or I still feel it as an energy of like, I don't need complete clarity of everything around me and of other people's paths, of what's going on with them, for me to feel sure in myself and the way I'm going to move, right? So every step that you move forward with, it's like all of you moves forward with, right? And so because of that, you're creating this sense of complete stability in who you know that you're showing up as. And so all the situations, all the steps next that you take, they're all fully you. You fully decided to take those steps, trusting yourself and trusting that you're showing up as you, right? So anything that comes after that, it's like you can leave behind the fear that other people don't have intentions to also do the same. This is ushering in this energy of like, there's no dust, there's no fog, there's no pressure. And so you're not giving power to uncertainty, which also means you're probably not feeding into fears, or you're not letting like anxiety or whatever, thoughts that feel like we can't really control them or we don't have absolute certainty. You're not letting that keep you from moving forward in your life. So like I was saying in yesterday's reading, you could be somebody who has struggled with anxiety, or it could be that your anxiety has stopped you from quite a few things in your life, or from taking opportunities that you know that you're wanting, because there's this energy with the Page of Swords in reverse and the Eight of Coins in reverse, feeling like something automatically is not going to work unless you know everything beforehand. And that is something where, with the Page of Cups in reverse behind it, it's really hard to just like not take everything seriously at all times. And you probably aren't having the best time with that. It's probably not very fun. Especially with the Page of Cups. Like the way I see it is like you're kind of shedding or letting everything fall away the further that you continue to walk like this. Like the more you continue to move like this, you're letting everything that isn't also moving like this just fall away. And I feel like this person, they're not falling away. If anything, what this is actually doing is providing them the type of clarity or the type of like just directness in their understanding of, one, who you are, and they need that. And two, it's letting them bring their guard down a bit, which is going to let you see them. So there's this energy of it actually being like kind of, it doesn't seem like this vibe of like vulnerability, but it just is like, whoa, okay, we're real. Like this is real, which is cute because the Seven of Cups in reverse and Eight of Wands in reverse, I kind of saw this like, if these cards were upright, I would see this as like somebody like drifting around and creating like this huge like dust cloud because of how you guys move in the situation. Whether you're moving out of fear or you're a little bit frantic and you guys have been still kind of moving forward, it's like the way you're moving, you're like, no, I'm not going to move through this dust cloud anymore. I'm choosing like to only move forward in a way that like I'm clearing the path, basically. I think also because these are in reverse, it's sort of saying that like it's pushing down any potential dust that could come back up, or like fears that could come back up that you're both feeding into. It's like, no, we're not doing that. There's no dust, there's no fear. It's like, if we're choosing to move forward, if you're choosing to step, you're seeing that I'm doing that, and so we both are just going to do that, right? It does seem like this person, I know I was saying it doesn't really matter if they're not certain or whatever, but it's like they're still getting themselves sort of to a place where they're also comfortable letting the situation smooth out and letting themselves not feel into whatever fears they had. But behind whatever this is, I almost see it as like a veil of that. Behind it, this person's showing up as the King of Pentacles, King of Wands. That's like, we like that. That is somebody who is like emerging as a King of Pentacles, King of Wands. That's somebody who, this person's confident. This person could be a Taurus, or they could be a Leo. They could be a fire sign or an earth sign. I also feel like the reason that like you moving forward and not giving fear or uncertainty like the reins here is because when you see this person in King of Pentacles, King of Wands energy, I don't think you're going to be fully prepared for it. And I think it's something that in the past would have been like, I don't know how to move with someone like that. And that's somebody who is really hot and really comfortable in like who they are. This person is, it's actually really cute because it's like they're holding this diamond here, right? This person's a diamond in the rough, but then when they move, when they're not sitting at home comfortable, when they're out on the move, when they're out on the prowl, that diamond here is tattooed on their hand. So this person doesn't forget where they've came from. They don't forget. They sure as hell don't forget you when they're not. When they're having to move, because this King of Pentacles, this is somebody who they're on the ground, right? They're grounded in the reality. They're probably communicating with you. But when they're in King of Wands energy, this could be someone who's like a roamer. This could be somebody who travels a lot. This could be somebody who like has to like be up and make moves to make their money here. And it's like they don't forget you just because they're just because you're not receiving them all the time doesn't mean that you're not with them energetically. That's for sure. It's kind of cute because behind this like veil of like uncertainty and fear that you have maybe operated in previously, there's really nothing to be uncertain about with this person, because this person is, yeah, this is like, they're in it for the long haul. I also feel like you may have known this person in like a previous life. And by that, I mean like 10 years ago, or like the Knight of Coins, maybe when they were a teenager. Like you guys could have known each other when you were teenagers. They're still that person. This person could be kind of materialistic. And it's funny because like they like nice things, they like the finer things when they were younger, but they still have that diamond there when they're older. They like even nicer things, and they can afford nicer things. Why that's relevant, I don't know. But yeah, this is somebody from the past. And then we have the star here. This